Hi, everybody. Today I'm going to do a thing on what I call the Great Separation, and this is where the souls of the believers and the non-believers go when they die. Now, in English, uh, Hades and hell are both called hell because the King James doesn't really break it down from the Greek and the Hebrew. But this graph that I'll put in here, probably in numerous spots, will show of what I found in my research. We were doing a Bible study on John chapter 5, and it came up, I would say around verse 20, 22, that about Hades and hell. And the pastor seemed to think that, I hope I'm quoting him correctly, that Hades, you had a lot of Jewish people that were still in Hades. But in doing my research, well, first off, I want to say that right here, this was on the Blue Bible text on this. It says, there is some question as to whether Lazarus and Abraham were in Hades or in heaven. If they were in Hades, they were in a place that was separated from the unrighteous dead. But most of the studying that I did seems to equate Abraham's bosom with paradise and heaven. So I don't personally think that's correct. And I don't show it like that in my chart. I show Abraham's bosom, paradise, and heaven as being the same thing. And of course, the great chasm where Lazarus, between Lazarus and the rich man, was there where they couldn't pass. And also in the graphic, I break down Hades, which can be anywhere from a sleeping place to a cell, a holding cell, or uh, certain levels of torment, all the way into the worst of the worst, which is sometimes called the lower hell, or Gehenna. So that's what this is, and it took an extensive amount of reading and correcting this chart to where I think I have it right. So, um, okay, so in this chart, let's see, where is it? In this chart, I'm showing, we're just going to say that crucified with Christ, that's when you are born again of spirit. Then when you die, you go to paradise or heaven, which I also believe is Abraham's bosom. And like I said, Hades and hell are loosely translated as hell in the English. They don't make a differentiation. Um, they don't differentiate like they do in the Greek and the Hebrew. And also, the uh, the idea, and I got most of this from Jonathan Edwards because I found him to be the most correct in this. Uh, in Second Corinthians, I believe it was 5:6. Might be wrong on that. I'm not looking at it, but where it says absent from the body, present with the Lord. Now, a lot of people, I'd say some churches, are going to teach that um, you're not present with the Lord until the resurrection day. And I don't believe that's true for a couple of reasons. Number one, Jesus will never leave us nor forsake us. There's no place that you can go to get away from him. And I know from my personal experience of being dead that Jesus was immediately with me when my heart stopped. I could see him and feel him next to me, shoulder to shoulder. Um, and then the other aspect of this, if you read Jonathan Edwards' readings on this, which was a pastor in the 1700s, I believe, he goes into that it is exactly immediate, that you are immediately with Christ. And so you have a lot of especially nowadays, you have a lot of bad Bible or inaccurate Bible because people preach what they want to preach. And I guess you could say that's the same for me. But and in reading Jonathan Edwards, I have found as a spiritual Christian, as somebody who walks in the Spirit, that he has the greatest truth, I think, of if I had to pick one minister, old time minister. And I think a lot of times things are clouded today because people get into their intellect in studying the Bible, and they use the Bible verses. They try to break down the Bible, but you can't necessarily, if you, I say that loosely, break down the Bible in intellectual terms. You have to be led by the Spirit. You have to have some spiritual maturity. And so that's why I said I'm using my own experience of Jesus was immediately with me. It makes no sense that if you're living in Christ now, that you have to go to sleep before you go to heaven, or even that you have to wait to see Jesus. I just don't believe that. Um, the whole power of Jesus Christ changes everything in a believer's life. Now, for the unsaved, death is sometimes referred to as sleep or Sheol, and hell is referred to as Gehenna in the Hebrew, and I believe it's, if I'm saying this right, Tartarus in the Greek. I believe that was a Greek word. So I'm breaking it down in here, and I have the worst of the worst on there because that was also a lot of scriptural texts that I could go into, but it would take too long to list all the scriptures. Uh, so I just made this chart up instead, and I think it explains where the soul goes when people die. And like I said, the believer, the actual disciple of Jesus Christ, he's with Christ. There's not a time, I don't believe there's not a time where you are without Christ, either in this life or the next. And I'm, I'm 99% sure about that. Um, and partly because of my own experience. So, trying to think if there's anything else I need to say in this video. Well, anyway, I'm gonna put the graphic in here, and I hope that if if you want to research it further, I would encourage you to use the Blue Letter Bible in this study because, and that's an online Bible, I think. I don't think you can get it offline, but that seemed to have the most research in this area. All right, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.